So it says here that it's just 100 GSM. And the other sketchbooks that I use from Khadi is 150. So this is definitely thinner. And you can see right here, these are the pages. It's quite thin, so I'm quite curious about how it will hold. And then I'm also very obsessed about sketchbooks with deckled edges. It's just very pretty. Alright, so I have this from the color cube, and I think I'm gonna use this as like a reference in terms of the color palette. So I'm gonna put the background first. Alright, so I'm just gonna grab some water and just paint on this. So the paper is actually quite thin, not sure if it's gonna work. So I just wanted to put some of the colors maybe in this palette. Just add a touch of background, and maybe we can paint some flowers. Okay, maybe a little bit of green. Okay, now I'm gonna let it dry, and I have this small fan. So this is actually a bit damp. Some areas are still damp, but I guess I'm just gonna try and paint on top of it. Just using this filbert brush. I'm just going to try and maybe paint some of these lilacs. Okay. So just doing an impression of a lilac. It doesn't have to look exactly the real thing. And I'm using the color lilac here with a little bit of lavender, maybe a little bit of this violet, just to kind of add some contrast. So sometimes I like using a different shape of brush, because it just gives a different feel. So you can hear my son in the background because he is waiting for me to finish. Okay, I think I want to add a little bit of blue. And add this verditer blue. It's just a beautiful color. Next, I'm going to grab sap green, and we add a little bit of that stalk. Maybe another one right here. I think I want it a bit looser. This one feels too bold. I'm just gonna dab my brush. And this is in a different color. I've added a little bit of green to that lilac, so you can see it's more muted. I'm kind of liking this effect more, so I'm just gonna use this brush. This is a size 6 round brush, and add a little bit of verditer blue. Okay. Right. Maybe you can add some violet and a little bit of indigo to that violet. And just lots of water. Just gonna add this to just give it more depth. As you can see, you have some darker areas here. Adding some more water. Okay. Maybe while this is still wet, you can grab a darker violet. Just add some depth. Maybe you can add a little bit of stem here just to connect some of the flowers. Alright, so I feel like we need to add some fillers. I'm gonna add some leaves. These are not the leaves of the lilac, but just wanted to add some different texture. I'm adding some darker browns. I think you can add some white, or I'm gonna grab my gouache. This is the Holbein gouache. I think it's gonna look great on this painting. Just gonna add some water to that. Maybe add some kind of white flowers. So these are all just from imagination, not the real thing, but it's just fun to really paint on the sketchbook and just be free and not really have so much pressure, especially if the sketchbook is not as expensive. So I think this white will look better if we had like a darker background. It's gonna show up more. Okay, I have to be faster because my son is waiting. He's getting impatient. I'm so sorry if you can still hear some background noise, again from the construction. Just adding some green to those whites, just to let you guys see that it's actually a flower. I feel like we need a little bit more depth, so I'm gonna grab some indigo. Just add it here and there while the flowers are still wet. So I'm gonna concentrate more towards the bottom part. Okay, and then I'm gonna mix the green and the white. Maybe add some yellowish green flowers. I think it's going to complement this well. Okay, I think it's looking a lot better. Just gonna add some more white. Be near this lilac. Okay. Let's add some stems. Just adding stems while some areas are still wet. Can add some small lilac flowers. Just dab your brush. I think I'm just trying to like spread the color. Okay, grab some green. Okay. Okay, that's okay. And so just got more white, and maybe we can dab a little bit in some of the lilac. Just gonna add some more opacity to the white flowers that we did. Okay, I'm gonna switch my brush to this like detailer brush. This is a synthetic brush, so it's a slightly stiffer I'm able to create some nice thin lines that's not going to blur out. Yeah, so I think we're done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this experimentation with me. It's very quick, and these are some of the cards. Next time I'm gonna use this one. So yeah, I'm really happy about this sketchbook. It's, of course, it's not really thick, but it's good enough for practice. It does warp a little bit, as you can see, but in terms of like when you're painting on the paper, it works well for me as a watercolor paper. So I will definitely use this a lot for some practices. So if you want to learn more about watercolor florals, don't forget to check out the link below. I have so many Skillshare classes about watercolor florals, and you can even sign up for free for the 1 month free trial if you just want to check out the classes, and then later on you can decide if you want to move on with the subscription. So yeah, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified for every new video that I publish. That's it. Thank you again for watching. Bye!